What up, it's Scott Jackson. I'm on the on the ones. Weston's home. No matter where I go in the world, I always have a feeling of when I go back and come back to Weston, you know, it's just familiar streets, familiar smells, familiar sounds, and I don't think there's a more comfortable place I can ever be. I like Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys is something I've watched so many times, and it's always funny. You know, being Canadian, and it's just so funny. One game that I'm real good at, I would say, is PlayStation 3 Fight Night. Crush that game. Jordan. Donald Trump. Like, I don't really speak out on political beliefs too much, but literally, how are the Simpsons making a cartoon about it and being like, this is one of the most crazy things that could possibly happen? Woo! Be humble. I want to win. I want to win the world, man. That's something that's always been there, and I've been working towards, and I need to put more work into and focus more on just the general practice and getting back into it. And it's harder as the years go on because the art form expands. You have newer kids come up. When people like Dougie Fresh or Rozelle started, they were the blueprint for it. And then you go back even further, and it's just like scat and all this stuff. So the progression is going to be hard to go and stay with, but I think that if you stay with it, be original, be able to show your own skill and take it your own way, there's a shot. And I've never made it to the top 16 in the world when they had the championships the two times that I've gone, and it's something that still like bugs me because I let myself down for not practicing enough. A guy I met in Italy who was starting to beatbox, and he was from Uganda, and I kind of showed him some tips and tricks and everything, and he went back to his country and kept practicing and practicing, and now we still talk, and he's teaching. And I saw a video the other day of him having a group of kids around him and going and watching him teach. It's really inspiring to think of how far you can inspire someone to go, and seeing them come full circle where I'm really happy for him and I'm proud of him, and it makes me want to do more because I can see that he has such a positive influence on the community. I think having the ability to heal. I think if you could heal, and I don't mean that just in like, oh, you broke your arm, I can fix your arm. I mean being able to go somewhere where something like an oil spill happens and be able to heal nature. Because I think that we're doing a lot of bad things to this world and taking it for granted, and eventually it's really going to come back and bite us. So if you want to have a future for humanity, then being able to heal is definitely a big thing. Being seen as more than a side act sometimes, because a lot of people put you in that cookie cutter, oh, I have this beatboxer. I'm not just a beatboxer, you know? I try to do more than that and give a full-on show, and there's a Scott Jackson sound, you know? So being able to figure out one's own worth in sound is very important. Genuinely try to make people happy and smile, because you can be really technical, you can be really skilled at a trade, but all that doesn't matter sometimes as much as the ability to talk on a microphone and make people be like, oh, okay, and like get into it. Because if you're sitting there just going off doing your most technical things, but you're not looking at the crowd, and then you look up, beatboxers really appreciate that, right? And there's a lot of respect that I have for people like that. But if you're talking about general showmanship of being able to go and I can engage the smallest person in the crowd, like a tiny little kid, I can engage someone who's older in the crowd if I'm gonna go see people and be like, oh, You're gonna like reggae. Oh, you're gonna like dance music. Oh, you're gonna like some rock and roll track. Oh, you're gonna like the Michael Jackson. This old guy over here might like some Elvis Presley. Yeah, what up, Scott Jackson here. Subscribe to 40 Ounce Hero.